The 350 pulse machine connecting it to the mains needs to be a 5-pin or 4-pin 32 amp plug. The machine can draw up to anything effectively to about 24 amps. You can switch the machine on the back, it's just a circuit breaker at the back, switch it on. And setting up your actual wire feed unit. Put your reeler wire on here, passing it on. There is a nut here inside which adjusts the tension of the actual spool holder. Turn it anti-clockwise to release the tension. Make sure that's not tight when you're actually connecting the actual wire. There's 2 tension arms. And the wire feed motor. These are simple, just press them down, press it up, and it needs to be set to around about between 2 and 3, indicated on there. Make sure your rollers, both rollers are set up to the size of wire being used. You can easily take these rollers off, taking this nut off there and pulling straight off. They are indicated on the actual roller 1mm and 1.2. You want the inside to go on first to the size of the wire what's fitted. The washer and then connecting that. And that can be closed. Also, you need to make sure the Teflon liner when welding aluminium needs to be right up to the roller. If it's not right up to the roller, you'll get wire coiling up if the tension's too much also. Make sure your water connections are connected there, your power cable, your communication cable and your gas pipe. So the other end of your interconnection cable, the power cable needs to be into the positive and your earth lead needs to be into the negative. And make sure your communication cable is connected to the sockets here. The cooler will only operate when you start welding. When you start welding, this green light will come on and then it will start pumping water around your system. Also the cooling fan or the power source, that will operate when you strike up in MIG welding. Just make sure when you're filling the water up, it needs to be halfway about there. Do not overfill it or too empty, you'll get problems with cooling down of your torch then.
So, select the process that you're using out of the 4 at the top. So you've got Synergic MIG at the top, second one down is single pulse MIG, third one down is double pulse MIG, and the bottom one is stick welding. So for aluminium, you want to use ideally single pulse or double pulse. So to select single pulse, scroll through, select your material you're using, obviously whether it's aluminium, steel, stainless steel. We've got aluminium silicon, aluminium magnesium and pure alloy. Select your gas mixture, obviously with aluminium you want to use 100% pure argon. Select your wire diameter. You've got a choice of 1mm, 1.2 or 1.6. Then you want to select your material thickness. You've got from 0.8 all the way up to 20mm thickness. Scroll through to the beginning so you get to your pre-flow gas. Press this button here to flick over to time in seconds. That allows you to adjust how much pre-flow gas you want in seconds. So 1 being 1 second, all the way up to 5 seconds of pre-flow gas. I usually use around 1 second of pre-flow gas. Start current and slope up time is not something that I tend to use, but if you want to use it, you can only use it on 4-touch trigger control. Next one. So select your material thickness. I'm going to go on 6mm. Press the button to get your readout of your amperage. So at 6mm it's recommending 152 amps with 20.1 volts. You got your slope down, again only works in 4-touch trigger control, and your crater fill as well at the end. And then your post flow gas, again you want to flick over to time in seconds to adjust that, and I usually use around 5 seconds of post flow gas on aluminium. Now for setting up double pulse, you want to select your double pulse. Again you'll have to select your material type and your gas, and also your wire diameter. Make sure they're all correct first. Go to your pre-flow gas, adjust that to however long you want. Again, I'm going to select 1 second. Select your material thickness, so select 6mm is what we're going to be using. Go across to your current, so again 152 amps with 20.1 volts. Press this again to get into your background current. Now ideally you want to set that at 50% of your main welding current, so we're at 152, so I'm just going to adjust that by pressing this button here. It's around 75, 76 amps, and the voltage is automatically adjusted as well because of the Synergic program. So 76. Okay. Post flow gas, adjust that again. I'm going to leave it on 5 seconds. But on the double pulse, a feature that you don't get on the single pulse is you're able to change your frequency of your pulses. So if you press this button here, you can cycle through to get to your hertz, which is the last LED. You can change your pulses from anywhere between half a pulse a second all the way up to 5 pulses a second. But I've found that around 2.5 pulses per second works quite well on the aluminium. The other one that you get a setting on is your percentage balance as well. That is a percentage balance of your pulses, so basically your pulses work if you add, for example, if I set that to 1, that's a frequency of 1 pulse per second, and if you go to the percentage balance here, I've got it set on 50%, so that means for half the second it will be on the higher setting, and for half the second it will be on the lower setting. Really, I wouldn't recommend messing around with that too much. I'd leave it on a balance so that you get an equal balance between the high and the low pulse. As well, you've also got trigger controls. So the top one there is spot time, if you just want to use it for tacking. That's 2-touch trigger control, so press and hold. 4-touch trigger control, or latch as some people refer to it, where press and let go and the weld starts, and press and let go and the weld will finish. And the last one is like multifunction trigger control, where different presses of the trigger will perform different functions on the machine, so it varies. So some functions may raise the welding current, some may drop the welding current, but to use that properly you'd have to refer to the manual to find out what functions there are available. So on the wire feed system you've got your amperage, which you can adjust remotely on the wire feed system. However, it will adjust it on the main power source. Therefore, because it is a Synergic program machine, it will automatically adjust the voltage as well, so try not to mess around with this setting too much when you've already preset it on the main power source. However, if when welding you find that your weld is a little bit cold, you can actually use a voltage trim, which is this setting here, to actually add voltage or take away voltage in the event that you find that your weld is a little bit cold. However, to return to the program normal, always make sure it is set to 0, 0. In the middle you also have a wire inching button here that will allow you to feed the wire through the torch to the point of welding.